Hello everybody, today I'm going to be talking to you about cake decorating and the tools to start a cake business, or if you like to make any cakes, the professional tools and the basic tools. Now, pastry bags. They are so important in the cake decorating process. There's a huge collection of pastry bags. There's the canvas type, which is reusable, the disposable ones, which are not reusable, Ziploc bags, and the thin reusable ones. Now, my favorites are the reusable ones, which is canvas. But sometimes when I'm making small details or a couple cupcakes, I just use the disposable ones because they're like, those ones are a pain to clean, so I just use the disposables when I cook. And you also, this is so important, you should have lots of tips. Tips are found by the internet or the cake supply stores. There's a huge collection of these also. There's the Etico ones, the Wilton ones, they're all fine. I just tend to love the star tips. I have a huge collection. That's not all I have lots of them. As you can see, they variate in the openings and the sizes. So each one has its own thing, does everything differently. Now you should also have, this is called a flower nail. It's actually a real nail and it's made out of metal. This is for forming flowers out of buttercream, and you should use with it a flower tip, a petal tip actually. Spatulas are super handy. This one is a scraping spatula which scrapes down your bowl. That's an offset spatula which is used for cream or buttercream, spreads out everything. That's also a spatula, but that's not an offset spatula. It's straight spatula. Now this is called a bench scraper. It cuts doughs and it does edge sides of cakes. This is not sharp at all, and that is also very handy. Also in not only baking but making bread and stuff like that. A decorator comb or a comb piece, which does decoration on side. See, it has 3 decoration options. Brushes. Now there's 2 kinds of brushes. The hair brush, I call it, or the silicone brush. Now each one has a different use. This one is silicone brush. First of all, I love it because it doesn't fall, so you don't see it everywhere. And this one is just for doing stuff like putting any butter on pans. There's muffin tins also to start out with. I have, this is 12-piece muffin tin and the 6-piece muffin tin. I have the basic round aluminum pans, like that, starting from this size, moving on to the biggest size. Now I love using aluminum because it reacts with the eggs in your batter and it makes your cake rise better than if you use the silicone ones. Loaf pans are also important if you make bread loaves and stuff like that. I do make bread loaves. Those are a couple of what I have. I have lots of pans, but just to show you what you're going to need if you're going to be making any breads. The springform pan is also important. If you make cheesecakes and stuff like that, this is important as well. Now there's the round cake pans, but they are silicone. And I'm not too crazy about silicone because I don't think that's as great as aluminum, so it's your choice if you want to buy silicone or not. And also I have the decoration of the silicone ones, which this one actually has the flower thing on it. This makes a beautiful cake, a very nice cake, but the problem is it's very hard to clean, to get all the edges and scrape everything off, so also your choice. And the bundt pan, or the hole in the middle pan, actually. This is very handy to have if you have different sizes, or actually taller sizes, different decorations. Sometimes it has stars on it, flowers, I don't know. It's also very nice to have. Now for the advanced bakers, you should definitely have food colorings. I prefer using gel food colorings because they're more concentrated first. They don't thin out your batter, and if you're using them in fondant, it doesn't make it sticky. There's lots of brands. I use Wilton and American color. Now, that's not a commercial. Like, that's what I use, that's what I find, so that's what I think. And that's a lime or an orange zester or a lemon zester. This is very nice. It actually takes only the zest out. It doesn't take the bitter white part of it. That's a cake leveler, which levels out your cake and cuts layers. Obviously, oven gloves are so important as well.